What is happening right now between Washington and Ottawa is not a negotiation. It is not a trade dispute. It is a demolition. For decades, the economic ties between the United States and Canada were the gold standard of global stability. Seamless, predictable, profitable. But as of this morning, that era is dead. President Trump thought he could squeeze Canada on critical minerals. He assumed he was dealing with a government that would fold under pressure and hand over its strategic resources the second the White House raised its voice. He thought wrong. Before we pull back the curtain on the biggest geopolitical miscalculation of the decade, hit that subscribe button right now. We bypass the cable news noise to give you the raw strategic realities you won't hear anywhere else. Here is exactly what triggered the collapse in the last 72 hours. Emboldened by resource nationalism, President Trump signed an executive order demanding Canada sell all rare earth and lithium exports exclusively to U.S. buyers at a fixed, below-market price. He gave Washington's closest ally 72 hours to comply or face a total embargo. So, how did Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney respond? Did he send a delegation? Did he issue a polite diplomatic protest? No. He did something that made every trading desk on Wall Street go completely silent. Carney announced a total immediate export ban on 17 categories of critical minerals to the United States. Cobalt, lithium, nickel, tungsten, the rare earths essential to every single fighter jet, every missile guidance system, every electric vehicle battery, and every advanced semiconductor that America builds. Canada didn't just say no. They weaponized their geology, and the fallout was instantaneous. The Pentagon is in a state of controlled panic. An internally leaked memo confirms that the United States has less than a 90-day strategic reserve of these minerals. Think about that. 90 days. Canada supplies over 40% of the cobalt and nickel used in U.S. defense manufacturing. You cannot 3D print cobalt. You cannot substitute it with something from a hardware store. Within an hour of Carney's ban, 3 major U.S. defense contractors triggered force majeure clauses, formally telling the Pentagon they cannot deliver on existing contracts. A disruption to the most powerful military machine in human history, triggered not by an enemy, but by an ally. If you are realizing just how fragile the global supply chain actually is, take 1 second to hit the like button. It pushes this analysis through the algorithm so more people can see the real geopolitical chessboard. The financial bleeding is already staggering. Lockheed Martin dropped 6% in 90 minutes. Raytheon followed. Tesla slid 8%. The North American EV supply chain has effectively seized. Trump is playing arm wrestling, but Carney is running an auction. While Trump was rage posting on Truth Social, threatening to invoke NATO Article 5 against Canada, Carney was quietly on back-to-back calls with the European Commission, Japan, and South Korea. Canada is now fast-tracking a critical minerals partnership that will give European and Asian manufacturers priority access to Canadian rare earths at the direct expense of American buyers. And the markets are rewarding him. The euro just strengthened against the dollar. Asian mining stocks are surging. The Toronto Stock Exchange just posted its best single-day performance in 14 months. Why is the most powerful country on earth being outmaneuvered? Because Trump confused proximity with submission. In a boardroom, you can bluff your way through a hostile takeover. But Canada isn't a company you can foreclose on. It is a sovereign nation that holds the literal dirt required to maintain America's technological dominance. So, where does this go from here? The off-ramps are disappearing. There are 3 scenarios left. Scenario A, the siege. Trump holds the order, Canada holds the ban. Both economies bleed until corporate America forces Congress to step in. Scenario B, the fracture. Trump imposes secondary sanctions on anyone buying Canadian minerals. The North American supply chain is permanently broken. Scenario C, the realignment. Canada becomes the supplier of choice for Europe and Asia, and the U.S. is forced to spend 15 years and hundreds of billions of dollars trying to rebuild domestic mining capacity, irreversibly eroding its technological edge. Right now, we are sliding rapidly from Scenario A to Scenario B. The guardrails that usually prevent this kind of disaster have been systematically destroyed. The assumption that America's allies will always comply has been shattered in real time. We are watching the ground shift beneath our feet. Do not look away. We aren't just giving you the news, we are giving you the blueprint of tomorrow's conflicts. If you want to stay ahead of the curve, hit subscribe, ring the notification bell, and share this video with someone who needs to know the truth. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who blinks first, Washington or Ottawa? We'll see you in the next analysis.